Hello, great people. In an utter show of impunity and arrogant display of political privilege, Senator Adams Oshiomhole disrupted flight operations at the local wing of the Murtala Muhammed International Airport after missing his flight due to lateness. Adams Oshiomhole is the senator representing Edo North in the Nigerian Senate and is the former governor of Edo State. He missed his flight from Lagos to Abuja due to lateness, and he decided to put up what can be best described as a show of shame. In a moment, I'll leave you to watch the video of what transpired at the airport. Then when we come back, I'll be reading to you the testimony of someone that was present at the airport. Then we'll be assessing the implication of Adams Oshiomole's statement. If it were to be an ordinary Nigerian, what would have happened? And we'll also be looking at the statement as released by Air Peace, the airline that was supposed to convey Adams Oshiomhole from Lagos to Abuja. Then we'll be looking at the political behavior of politicians in high places and the impunity and the consequence of it on the development and the efficiency of public infrastructure. We'll be dissecting all this and a whole lot more on this episode with your show plug, Dr. Omoshola. First, let us go and watch the video of what transpired at the airport. Then we come back for some great discussion. Let's watch it.
No, that's what they are saying, that it's overbooked. That's right. Why the answer? There you have it. You just watch the video of Senator Adams Oshiomhole. I don't know whether you observed something in that particular video. At the entrance of the Zulu Terminal, somebody was sitting on a luggage. That person is Adams Oshiomhole. He sat at the entrance of the terminal, thereby disrupting other passengers from gaining access to the terminal for them to catch up their flight. It took the effort of the Air Peace management. In fact, it took the effort of the regional manager after convening an emergency management meeting and a lot of persuasion upon persuasion before they could get Oshiomhole out of the terminal. Now, what actually happened? Oshiomhole was to board a flight, an Air Peace flight from Lagos to Abuja. The flight was scheduled for 6:30 a.m., but Oshiomhole arrived at 6:10 a.m. And for that particular reason, he wasn't allowed to board the flight. Now, there's a international modus operandi for airline, not just in Nigeria, but across the globe, which is that terminal, the check-in terminal, often closes about 1 hour or at best 45 minutes before the flight takeoff time. So you are to arrive at the airport before the close of the terminal so that you can do your check-in and other assessment. But Oshiomhole obviously arrived late. But then, was the situation that bad? What could have happened? Could the airline have helped Oshiomhole? Yes, the airline could have helped him, but then it is at the discretion of the airline, because ordinarily when you book your ticket, it would have been stated there that you need to arrive 1 hour before your flight takeoff. Some airline will even tell you to arrive 1.5 hours or 2 hours before your flight takeoff. So obviously, Oshiomhole, was on the wrong side in this regard, but the airline could have helped him based on their discretion. It depending on the manner of approach. Let us be real. This is Nigeria. Almost everything is possible in Nigeria. If Oshiomhole had approached the airline staff and he had joked with them that, oh, I'm really sorry, it was because of maybe government engagement, political engagement, just joke with them that, if you not carry me for this flight, maybe I don't get bed for me. So that means I'm now an airline staff. Let us be doing airline work in your office together till the next flight. And you just joke and laugh with them. Nigerians, particularly some of all these workers, they respect politicians a whole lot. Maybe they would have allowed him, but for him to put up an unruly behavior as if he is on his right, definitely that is not allowed, because by international standard, Oshiomhole was supposed to have arrived earlier. So he has kind of like lost his right to board that plane by arriving late. Now, let me read a statement for you. One of the statements I was able to extract from the print media from somebody that was present at the airport. Let me read what the person had to say as regards what transpired at the airport between Adams Oshiomhole and Air Peace staff. The statement reads, in quote, Oshiomhole blocked the terminal entrance completely until the regional manager came to resolve the issue. The terminal manager made all efforts to resolve it, but Oshiomhole removed everything so he could not resolve the issue. There was a management meeting called to beg Oshiomhole. He disrupted flight by shutting down the Zulu Terminal. The situation was so tense that a management meeting was already convened to plead with the senator to step aside so that operations could resume. End of quote. So that is from somebody that was present at the airport at that point in time. So I believe that the situation did not warrant the utter show of shame that Adams Oshiomhole put up at the airport. Plane is not a bus, and you need to kind of like, stick to time, because if you don't, flight waits for no one. Flight waits for nobody, no matter how highly placed. Flight doesn't wait for anybody, because that particular flight may even be having a brief stopover. Okay, let me give you a scenario. That flight is from Lagos to Abuja, but if that flight is not a full flight, that flight may have to stop over at Ilorin, for instance, to pick up some more passengers before heading to Abuja. So the passengers in Ilorin are waiting. Some of the people that are boarding that flight, they have some serious emergency meeting, some political, some economic, some business, some family urgency, and they need to now detain all of them just because of one senator. Across the world, it is a global standard that flight waits for nobody. The people that will only argue that are people that have not left the shores of Nigeria. The people that will only debate that are people that have not been able to witness, boarding a flight in a place outside Nigeria. But I'm sure that those that are frequent travelers will not argue this. Flight waits for no one, no matter how highly placed. Now, let us go and read the statement of Air Peace. Let us read what Air Peace said as regards what transpired at the airport. Then after that, we will now be discussing, the action of Adams Oshiomhole. If it is an opposition, if it is an ordinary Nigerian that behaved the way he behaved, what would have happened? But let us read the statement of Air Peace. Before I read it, I must say that Adams Oshiomhole is yet to react to it at the time of this video. Now, unruly conduct by prominent politician at Lagos Airport. Air Peace reaffirms zero tolerance for violence. Air Peace strongly condemns. That's the beginning of the statement. Air Peace strongly condemned the unruly conduct of a prominent Nigerian politician who disrupted airport operations on the morning of Wednesday, June 11, 2025. The prominent individual in question, I need you to listen to this because the statement is strongly worded. The prominent individual in question arrived at Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Zulu Hall, at approximately 06:10 a.m. for flight P47120, scheduled to depart Lagos for Abuja at 06:30 a.m. In line with our standard on-time departure policy, the boarding process had closed and the flight departed as scheduled. Upon being informed of the missed flight, the politician resorted to violence, physically assaulting our staff. Now, that's the Nigerian senator, physically assaulting our staff and forcefully barricading the terminal's entrance. He went as far as sealing the entry gate and manning the access point, effectively obstructing other passengers from gaining entry into the terminal. The unacceptable behavior caused significant disruption to ongoing operations and affected numerous travelers scheduled for various flights. To minimize further inconvenience, Air Peace swiftly activated an operational contingency plan to board affected passengers through an alternate terminal, ensuring the continuity of their travel plans. We are deeply saddened that such a high-profile figure displays such conduct so unbecoming and disruptive to fellow passengers and our personnel. Air Peace maintains a zero-tolerance stance on violence or any form of aggression against our staff and passengers. We urge all guests to remain civil and cooperative at all times. Aviation operations are bound by strict timelines. I said that earlier. Aviation operations are bound by strict timelines and safety protocols. And we remain committed to upholding these standards while delivering safety and timely services to the Nigerian public. Air Peace continue to stand for discipline, integrity, and respect for the process and respect for due process. No individual, no matter how highly influential, is above these values. That's the statement as released by Air Peace. Now, let me first address the hypocrisy of Air Peace. This issue happened in a public space, definitely Nigerians know the person that disrupted the airline operations, and Air Peace is afraid to mention the name of the senator. Imagine the hypocrisy on the part of Air Peace. You are now using alternative words, highly placed, high profile Nigerian, high profile politician, all those. No, what stops you from saying Senator Adams Oshiomhole? That is the hypocrisy of Air Peace. If it were to be an ordinary Nigerian, Air Peace will release the name of that person, that a man identified as so person disrupted operations this morning. We have put the situation under control. Look at the hypocrisy of Air Peace. So you cannot mention Adams Oshiomhole. And let us look at the biasment of the Nigerian police and other security agencies at the airport. If it were to be an ordinary Nigerian, those people would have pounced on you, they would have rough-handled you, they would have molested and harassed you, they would have locked you up. They may even charge you to court. But Oshiomhole blocked the entrance of the Zulu Terminal, disrupting public peace and disrupting the convenience of other passengers, yet the security agencies couldn't do anything. Nobody harassed Oshiomhole. Tomorrow now, if somebody like Very Dark Man decide to go and put up such behavior, they will arrest him, they will detain him. So why do we operate a country of dual standard? Now, imagine if Air Peace is Nigeria Airways. Just imagine. Would they have been able to resist Adams Oshiomhole? Imagine if it is Nigerian Airways. These are some of the conduct that ruined the operations of Nigerian Airways. So look at what we are seeing now. So they definitely, if it were to be an opposition politician, imagine what would have happened. Let's assume that it is somebody like Dino Melaye, a strong opposition politician. Festus Keyamo would have been running his mouth. The police would have declared him wanted or something. But now it is an APC senator, and high profile one for that matter. Nobody is saying anything. So the better we begin to make the country a place whereby rule of law will be available to all, whereby if you do anything wrong, then you will be brought to book the earlier for the best for all of us. And I just hope that Adams Oshiomhole next time will act as expected of an high-profile politician, a former governor, and a respected citizen. It's been an interesting time with you. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.